The former military president, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, has weighed in on the controversial hate speech bill, saying nobody can muzzle Nigerians and deny them freedom of speech. As you know, he was also one of the military dictator, and he is oftentimes called Maradona. Some people believe that during his own tenure, he was much better than many of these military dictators, as they call him Maradona, and they felt that during his time there were a lot of certain activities that were allowed in the system. But I don't think there was electricity and basic amenities provided as it is available in other countries. So I still do not see any of this administration as productive, past and the present. General Babangida pointed out that there was even no basis for the bill, which has passed the second reading in the Senate, insisting that no one can deny Nigerians their fundamental rights. And I think with Babangida coming up to speak, and probably some other generals, I think Buhari will begin to piss in his pants. He will be afraid, as I want to believe that Babangida and the rest of the generals must have spoken before he decided to express his own opinion. And maybe he's just trying to say these things, these words, so as to repair his own image. As you know, Babangida has children that might end up coming into politics and want to become president, governor, and the rest of that. So probably he's trying to repair that image, as he once granted an interview where he said that he doesn't want to write a book. He said because Nigerians and every other person will see him as a dictator. So what is there to write about? There's nothing to write about. Babangida spoke in his Mina Uphill residence, where he received visiting national president of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ, Chief Christopher Isiguzo. The Protection for Internet Falsehoods and Manipulation Bill and the National Commission for the Prohibition of Hate Speeches Bill were recently introduced in the Senate. Babangida recalled that a similar bill was presented before the 8th National Assembly, and he advised against this. He said, "I am surprised that this bill has resurfaced. There is no basis for this now. We are developing. We should be allowed to develop. If we make mistakes, people can be cautioned. If somebody goes off, you have the right to call him to say, no, we don't want this." Unless people are able to express themselves, those in government or in authority will not know what is happening in the country. The former military president, head of state, said the bill was an eye service by the sponsor, describing the death penalty prescribed in the bill as a crude and wicked punitive measures that should not be put on them. And I would rather say that I expected the person that came up with this bill, is an Hausa Fulani anyway, he should have come up with bill that will tie death sentence. Death sentence should be tied to criminal looters, such like the ones in the Senate, and of course all of the politicians included. If somebody makes hate speech, put him in the gallows and not shoot him. It is crude and out of tune with the 21st century reality, he said. It could have happened maybe 300 years ago, but not now. Babangida vowed to team up with the NUJ and other stakeholders in protesting against the passage of the bill, saying, "I am with you on this. I will also talk to those of us who could be in position to bring sanity to bear on some of these things." Hopefully the military will not take over, as it seems that this man called Jubril Al-Sudani, well, you call him Buhari, whatever he is, it seems there are a lot of people that are not in support of his actions and activities as president in Nigeria. So he further said that the country today, the country is better and much getting better. That is what he said, that we are developing and we don't need such crude and wicked bills. That is what he said. The former military president said that he has been following media publications on the forthcoming American election, adding, "If we had their type of media, I think they should be jailing you all by now." That is what he said. He credited himself with opening up the media space even when some of his colleagues opposed his policy. But today the country is better for it, he said. He challenged the media to remain strong and focus on what Nigerians want, maintaining that the nation can only succeed if we allow unfettered freedom without death threat of 10 million naira fine, which he said sounded silly. Earlier, the NUJ president has solicited the support of the former military president to bring down the bill before the National Assembly. He described hate speech bill as anti-democracy and anti-people, and therefore must be killed. Reacting, legal icon Chief Afe Babalola, senior advocate of Nigeria, described the bill as a slight to dictatorship and that there was no need for extra laws in Nigeria. And I will add that the constitution itself is jaundiced and sick, while putting more sick laws. Babalola spoke at ABUAD in Ado Ekiti on Wednesday when the leadership of NUJ Ekiti chapter, led by its chairman, Comrade Rotimi Ojomoyela, presented an award of excellence to the legal icon to appreciate his contributions to humanity and national development. The legal icon noted that the provisions of the proposed bill in its entirety clearly contravene Section 39 of the 1999 Constitution, which guaranteed freedom of speech. Lampooning the champions of the bill, Babalola said, "This is the beginning of the dictatorship. There are enough laws like defamation, libel, and slander to deal with anybody who publishes falsehood against someone, and it comes by way of taking the person to court. So it is for no need to make new laws to deal with somebody who publishes falsehood. There was no need whatsoever for additional laws to deal with that, though people are complaining because the police are not doing well by delaying the prosecution of offenders." Meanwhile, scores of placard-wielding protesters comprising individuals and civil society organizations marched on the National Assembly complex yesterday, demanding that the Senate drop the bill it is considering to regulate social media in Nigeria. The protesters started the march at a section of the National Assembly gate when another set moved in through the left flank of the gate. Two groups, Take It Back movement and concerned Nigerians, championed the protest. Aside the primary demand of the Senate stepping down the social media and the hate speech bills, the protesters also asked the federal government to obey court orders by releasing Omoyele Sowore and Olawale Bakare, aka Mandate. Other journalists who are held for critiquing state authorities, for criticizing state authorities, they hoisted placards which, among other inscriptions, read, "If you cannot stand the smoke, get out of the kitchen. Only a repressive regime muscles the media. Say no to social media bill. We are not in tyranny century. If we can't say what we think in a democratic society, then it is not democracy. Do not gag me. Free Sowore. It's slavery not to speak one's thoughts. Social media bill, another draconian decree, and do not gag me." The protesters sang songs of solidarity and called out names of each of the 109 senators, chorusing "shut it down," referring to the two bills, the social media bill and the hate speech. While addressing journalists, Deji Adeyonju, one of the conveners of the protest, said the action would henceforth be frequent. He said, apart from the protest, there would be online actions which would involve sending text messages, calling and sending mails to every senator. He added that this would be followed by individual name shaming and picketing. We will assign tasks to different members of our group to go to their senators, to go to their homes, let their children see what their parents are doing. Well, their children are not in Nigeria anyway. They are abroad. Apart from the little ones, they always abroad with their wives. He faulted the decision to adopt Singapore version of the same bill. He said the Asian country is not a democratic state and that those are communist countries. Another leader of the protest, Henry Shield, also chided the legislators for not adopting progressive bill like healthcare bill of the United States and other bills of note that would address the challenges facing Nigerians. He said, "We insist that the monstrous social media bill and its evil hate speech counterparts have no place in any democratic society, let alone a fledgling democracy like ours. We believe that the bills are satanic, demonic, and must be totally withdrawn from the 9th Senate with immediate effect. As constituents and citizens alike, we believe that a proposed bill suggests that you lawmakers are anti-people and unwilling to either understand the sufferings of Nigerians or even take any meaningful step to mitigate them. We therefore hope that you will listen to the unanimous voice of Nigerians that this bills have no place in our democracy and must be forever banished in the trash. But Uba Sani, APC Kaduna Central, and Yakubu Hussaini, APC Kogi Central, spoke on behalf of the Senate, said lawmakers will do the biddings of Nigerians. So guys, that's what it is. Hate speech bill. Nobody can muscle on Nigeria. And IBB is saying this. Well, like I said, it's a tough thing. No, some people might say IBB must have remembered how even his brutal tyrannical rule, including the infamous Decree 4 inherited from Buhari, could deter from the multiple June 12 riots. So it is unthinkable, irrational, senseless, and totally anti-human for the Senate to introduce this obnoxious bill while Buhari had claimed to be a born-again Democrat to sit idle and gleefully watch on. Perhaps this is truly preparatory to the alleged third term agenda, although he swore that he is not going to be involved in this. Well, that is what it is. Buhari brought this in 1984. It's called Decree Number 4. And it's an infamous hate speech bill. And right now, Buhari is trying to achieve all that he couldn't achieve, and even probably stealing some few amount of money. If you say no, I want to ask you, where did Buhari's son, that never worked for a day, get money to buy 2 expensive automobiles from Germany? If you have an answer to that, drop it at the comment section. If you think Buhari himself doesn't have some criminal, activities going on in his family and within himself, drop that at the comment section. That is what it is for now. If you're not part of this channel, let us grow this channel together. Simply tap on the subscription button and the red notification icon bell. That will automatically make you a member of this channel. Thanks for stopping by.